Let us come to item 2, which concerns the adoption of the agenda. And once again, I'll please ask Mr. Curtis to present the provisional agenda of our meeting. Mr. Curtis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The provisional agenda is found in document 2 Rev. It includes 22 items. As you can see, many of these items contain sub-items. The agenda has been prepared according to Rule 9 of the Rules of Procedure of the Committee. All the documents relating to the agenda items were published in English and French online by the statutory deadline of 29th of October. That is 4 weeks before the opening of this session, according to Rule 42 of the Rules of Procedure of the Committee. The list of documents may be found in document INF 2.2, and all working documents have the code ITH/18/13.com, followed by a number that corresponds to the number of the provisional agenda. For information documents, the number is preceded by INF. In a few cases, documents initially published may be supplemented by corrigenda or addenda, or subject to a revision, a revised document. You will be informed of such cases so that you can refer to the latest versions. This 13th session of the committee will be a 6-day session. The timetable adopted by the Bureau at its meeting on 2nd of October in Paris, the timetable was adopted by the Bureau at its meeting on the 2nd of October in Paris. The Bureau met again yesterday and revised the timetable, which can be found in document INF 2.1 Rev. The committee will meet every day from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., meaning a 2-hour lunch break. Kindly note that, as last year, the meeting was scheduled over 6 days instead of 5, on condition that the committee will hold no night sessions. Items will be examined in the order indicated in the timetable as approved by the Bureau. What you are asked to adopt here is the agenda and not the timetable. Every morning from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., the Bureau will meet, starting tomorrow in Kestrel Room, to adjust the provisional timetable as needed. Observers are welcome to attend. Mr. Chairperson, of course, I remain at the disposal of the committee to answer any questions related to the provisional agenda. But apart from our agenda, various events will take place during the session. The Secretariat has prepared 2 events for this session. The first one is called Dive into Intangible Cultural Heritage, which will be held during the lunch break today from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. There will be a demonstration of this tool developed by the Secretariat in the atrium just outside the room at the front of the room. The second event is a roundtable discussion aiming to raise awareness about the global network of facilitators under the convention. It will take place tomorrow during the lunch break from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. in the Kestrel Room found in the first floor. For the attention of the media, there will be a press conference at 12:30 p.m. today in Kestrel Room, immediately after this session. States, parties, accredited non-governmental organizations, and Category 2 centers are organizing a number of side events. Information about these events can be found on the website of the convention using the address shown on the screens. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Dear members of the committee, before we continue, I would like to inform you that, as just mentioned by the Secretariat, the Bureau met yesterday and revised the provisional timetable. This revised document was published online by the Secretariat last night. As you can see, the revised timetable indicates that before the end of this morning's session, today, we will be examining item 10B41, an addendum on item 10B was also published last night in this regard. I will explain this issue when the time comes, but I would like to reassure you that this will not disrupt the examination of item 10, scheduled to begin on Tuesday afternoon. I am well aware that many have made specific travel plans in relation to agenda item 10, and we will be doing our best to respect the provisional timetable for this item. Having said that, returning to our timetable in general, it is clear that we have important issues to discuss during the 6 days of our meeting, and we have to do so within a very tight schedule. I am therefore craving for your indulgence and your cooperation to keep your interventions brief. Before we proceed further, dear colleagues, I would like to inform the committee about the way I intend to conduct our debates. I would like to invite the committee members to limit themselves in their remarks within the minimum time required. I suggest, as a general principle, that our speaking time be 2 minutes. And once again, please try not to take the floor more than twice on a single item. We have a timer which will be shown to indicate the length of each intervention, and this will help, of course, for you to be within that limit. Members that would like to introduce written amendments to the draft decisions in the documents can do so by completing the relevant form. This is available both from the Secretariat and the website of the Convention on the page indicated to the 13th session of the committee. You may also submit your written amendments electronically using the address now shown on the screen. And of course, you have a form to that effect. During a general debate, after each item has been debated by the committee members, I will give the floor, time permitting, to observers. Please note that observers may be recognized during a general debate or after a decision has been taken, but may not intervene during discussions on draft decisions. Concerning the report of the evaluation body to the committee, and in particular items 10A to 10D, the committee will have 50 files to examine. The current plan is to dedicate some 15 hours for doing so. Part of the afternoon of Tuesday 27th and the whole days of Wednesday 28th, Thursday 29th, as well as the morning of Thursday 30th. This means that the committee will have about 18 minutes per file on average. Due to this tight schedule and in order to allow sufficient time for the committee to discuss each agenda item, the committee during the last sessions adopted a working method to deal with the high number of nominations, allowing the efficient examination of these items. In the Bureau meeting of 2nd October, we discussed the need to continue to ensure that debates proceed efficiently as far as nominations are concerned. Therefore, as I already informed you during the information and exchange session held also on the 22nd October last, the Bureau proposed that we continue with the working method adopted since 3 years. You also received this information from the Secretariat in an email communication sent to you on 15th November. Let me once again explain this methodology. As a general principle, the individual decisions concerning nomination to the list, requests for international assistance, and proposals to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices should be adopted without debate, unless a committee member wishes to raise specific issues. Those members of the committee wishing to discuss or amend specific draft decision concerning nominations, requests, and proposals are invited to make this known in advance. Before tomorrow, Tuesday, 27th, prior to the Bureau meeting at 9 a.m. I repeat, before tomorrow, Tuesday, 27th, prior to the Bureau meeting at 9 a.m. This, of course, will enable the Bureau to establish the list of files for debate. The Secretariat will inform the committee members accordingly and will allow the Bureau to better organize the time available for debating these items. Proposed amendments to the draft decisions or requests for debate should be sent by email to the address communicated to you by the Secretariat, and which you have it now on the screens. Or you may also do so by completing the relevant form available from the Secretariat. This will save time, allowing us to spend longer time debating other nominations that deserve our attention. But of course, members of the committee will always be entitled to ask for the floor after reflection, but we are merely trying to better organize the adoption of draft decisions in advance. I would like also to clarify that at the end of the examination of each file, regardless of the outcome, I will give the floor for 2 minutes to the submitting state or to the states if there is more than one, of course. This, of course, concerns multinational nomination, so that they can deliver a short speech, show a video, or to demonstrate the element in question. This has become a sort of tradition within our committee, which we are going to keep for this session also. I would also like to suggest that we adopt the same working method for item 7B, which deals with the examination of the reports of state parties on the current status of elements inscribed on the urgent safeguarding list. That is to say, if there is no committee member wishing to discuss or amend specific draft decision, the individual decisions under this item could be adopted without debate. This is because there are 16 reports this time, and if we have to examine all of them one by one, it will take a very long time. Therefore, the committee members are invited to inform the Secretariat in advance if they wish to discuss or propose an amendment to a draft decision. As this item will be examined this afternoon, I will ask you once again, at the opening of item 7B, if there is any request for debate. As a consequence, we will be able to take it for granted that draft decision on USL reports and nominations for which no request or debate has been put forward can be proposed for adoption as a whole, instead of discussing them paragraph by paragraph. Once more, I repeat, this will save time, allowing us to spend longer times debating other nominations that deserve our attention. Of course, members of the committee will always be entitled to ask for the floor after reflection, but what we are doing is we are merely trying to better organize the adoption of draft decision in advance. I hope you can all agree on this methodology, and we are here, of course, if there is any clarification or question, we are ready to give those clarification. Okay. Therefore, before we move to the decision, I would like to invite UNESCO's Deputy Chief of Secretary for UN Coordination, Mary Monet. Is she around? Mary? Please, Mrs. Mary Monet will say a few words. May I just invite Mary Monet to join us to the podium, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, Mr. ADG, Excellencies, dear delegates, my name is Mary Monet and I am the Security Advisor to the Director General. It's again a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you for the 13th committee. As you know, one of the DG's priorities is your safety and security, which, allow me to assure you, is well and truly assured here by the host country. I would like to thank them for all of their efforts, which are visible and non-visible. I will be with you here for the complete committee, and please don't hesitate to come to see me if you have any kind of concern. I would like to thank you sincerely, and all I can wish us all is a very successful committee. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Monet, for your reassuring words. And if you please, we may now move to the decision. May I invite you to refer to document 2 and its draft, especially paragraph 1. Which you have on the screen now. The whole agenda, items 1 to 22, which I am proposing that we adopt as decision 13.com2 as shown on the screen. Seeing no objection, I therefore declare decision 13.com2 adopted.